Welcome to NKTelco Sports here at the Wright State University Nutter Center. It's the Division IV State Final Volleyball Tournament game where the Bremen Cardinals will take on the Calvert Catholic Senecas. Today's game is brought to you by the Minster Bank, Schwederman Pharmacy, Keyhole Pizza, New Knoxville Supply, Minster Dental Care, Hometown Opportunity, Francis Furniture, Wilson Health, Precision Strip, Winners Meats, NKTelco, NKT.TV, BowlerStore.com, Wagner's IGA, Cargill, Grand Lake Health, Clopay Building Products, Moran's Refrigeration, and the First National Bank. Welcome inside the Nutter Center here in Dayton. What is anticipated to be a terrific matchup to kick off the games here today. You look at the 24-4 New Bremen Cardinals, all four of their losses in the MAC, and the 25-3 Senecas. Mike Hurt and Jeff Henshin, and it is expected that it is going to be loud in this building if the pregame is any indication, Jeff.
It's been a great the excitement level here, as you said, during the pregame. Fans have piled in at the 1 hour before first serve mark already. Both teams filling it up. The music's loud. The crowds have already been juiced up, if you will. So a great environment so far.
It has been so loud that we have barely been able to hear ourselves. We take a look at our Keyhole Pizza keys to the game for this contest. Two teams that are very alike. And Jeff, what do you see from these guys?
Well, for the Bremen Cardinals, they want to make sure they receive or have good first contact, get in their offense. It all starts with a good first touch. And they also want to move on from mistakes. You can't dwell on it. Things are going to happen that you can't control. You're going to make a bad play. You can't dwell on that, move on, make the next positive play. And start strong. They did not start strong in their semifinal game against Monroeville. They lost the first set. They didn't start last year well at the state in their first game in the semifinal. So 2 years in a row they've started slow. Would like to get off to a good start. And for Calvert Senecas, they are, as you mentioned, very similar to New Bremen. They want good ball control. They want to control the ball with a good first touch, and I said get in their offensive system because they know New Bremen is going to defend well. They want to get good attacks against a good defense of New Bremen. And that all parts, again, staying in system, even after the serve. How well can your libero get the ball up to the setter? And again, you need good offense. You need aggressive attacking. And blocking could be key. Seneca does a nice job on the air blocking. They average over 3 blocks a set. New Bremen has a multitude of hitters that can all do damage, so it's going to be critical. See how well the Senecas of Calvert can get a good touch on the Bremen attackers.
Well, the starting lineups when we come back here to the Nutter Center on NKTelco Sports.
Minster Dental Care continues to offer advanced dental technology in a state-of-the-art facility. Our professional team offers experience in general dentistry and orthodontics, including services such as CERA and wireline orthodontics. Board-certified pediatric dentist Dr. Philip Slonkowski ensures our littlest patients have a positive, safe, and a comfortable experience. We are unconditionally committed to excellence in everything we do.
Trust us! NKTelco, a small-town company with a big focus on customer service. We build business the old-fashioned way.
Trust us to be your internet provider.
Trust us to help you find the right cable package for your viewing needs.
Trust us to answer your questions any time of the day.
Trust NKTelco to be on call. Deliver and make sure your service is tailored to meet your needs.
We serve commercial and residential customers to meet their communication needs. Trust us at NKTelco.
Trust us! Back inside the Nutter Center as we get ready for game number 1 of the 44th Annual State Finals here in Dayton. And it is foretold that there are 2,700 people, according to the last census, that live in New Bremen. I think the town might be closed today because there is a great portion of that town sitting directly behind us.
Yeah, no surprise there. It was strong last year. It's strong again this year. They travel well.
And you look at it, New Bremen really with a new tradition of coming down here for the state. Got here last year. Jeff talked about it in our keys. They struggled early on in the semifinals, did kind of the same thing a couple of days ago in this building before they were able to win in 5 sets, and there aren't many times where people are able to put them down 2 sets. First of all, their 4 losses to terrific MAC teams who at one point it was 1 through 4 in the state of Ohio in Division 4. But you come back and you beat a very good Monroeville team and really kind of did it in impressive fashion, because by the time that they had ripped through the 3rd and 4th set, you get to the 5th, they jumped out to an 8-2 lead, ended up winning 15-10.
Yeah, really played well. You wipe away 1 and 2. They dominated really games 3, 4, and 5. At least statistically, they played much cleaner. They cut down their mistakes. Coach Kramer lives on a risk-reward system. She wants to play aggressive. They know the risk is you might hit one out of bounds, but the reward is more times than not you're gonna get a kill. You're gonna serve hard. You're gonna get in the other team's mindset and make it very difficult for them to focus on their task.
The Division IV Ohio Coach of the Year this year in Coach Kramer from Duquesne University is got a new motto, new team, new same dream for this year. Said people told us all year long we're not good enough. We can't be that team. You're missing a piece. We don't really care. We're here now. We're concentrating on taking on Tiffin Calvert.
Yeah, they've done a nice job of responding to that, let's say, criticism or the people out there that thought they didn't think they could be back in this position. They struggled at the end of the year. As you mentioned before, they lost 3 of 6 games to finish the season. Although it beat the great teams, as you mentioned, maybe that was a bit of a wake-up call, and they've been playing very well during tournament, and if you're going to pick a time of the year to do well, it's the final basically 8 games or 7 games in their case to do your best performance.
Starting lineup for the Bremen Cardinals at 24 and 4. Blake Snyder is the libero wearing a 0. She will be in the white jersey. Outside of that, the Cardinals in the grays. It's a sharp-looking kit if you're sitting courtside. Abby Tiemann wears number 2. She's a senior, along with Ashton Heitkamp, Josie Reinhardt, Taylor Paul, Rachel Kramer, and the All-Ohio selection in Macy Putoff. The other side for the Calvert Senecas at 25 and 3 on the year. Emma White wears number 2, Lila Garrick number 4, Sophie Burtis 5, Lexi White 7, Ashlyn Jones 9, and Zoe Meyer 12. And the young lady you see with a bright yellow bow in her hair in the white jersey for Calvert, the spectacular senior libero in Shelby Heminger. Keep an eye on her because she is going to do some spectacular things. Got to see her a couple of rounds ago in the regional finals in Elida against Leipzig, and she had one of the most ridiculous saves for a point I've seen in a long time. Just the length of the floor, Superman did and kept it in play.
Well, it's critical. That's part of their defensive strategies. Get a good first touch and get the ball back in the system. They have good strikers, good attackers, and it all starts with a good first touch.
We're underway now just outside of 11 a.m. on this Saturday, and the first point ripped straight down by Taylor Paul for New Bremen.
A number of these New Bremen hitters, all similar stats. Taylor Paul averages 2 kills a set, has a hitting percentage of .216.
A terrific set of servers as well as Macy Putoff, the junior, puts it in play. Calvert didn't get a real great return on that, but they're still able to work it back across. Up at the net, different set, different players, same result.
And again, it's going to be a carbon copy. Rachel Kramer averages 2.1 kills per set. She has a hitting percentage of .270. You mentioned it. Tiffin Calvert didn't get a good first touch, and they attacked it, but they didn't strike it very hard. New Bremen able to make an easy play and come much more aggressively.
There you see Burtis with the set blocked, and it's 3-0 right out of the gate. 2 more quick hands of Rachel Kramer and Ashton Heitkamp. And you talked about the blocks early on in our keys to the game. That's a pretty good one right here as Bremen out to a 3-0 lead.
Kramer had a great semifinal match, 7 blocks for points, leads a team in blocking at just over half a block per set.
Burtis with another set and a slam by White. And Bremen did not get themselves out of position, and quickly they were able to get a tip and lead 4-0.
Well, a completely opposite start than what they had against Monroeville, and they'll take it. A long way to go, but a good first few points here. 4-0 run for the Cardinals.
Get a look at Macy Putoff, and she rips the ace off of Jones. And you can see Ashlyn Jones just kind of waving, because that ball was smoke, and those kids, they're pretty happy right now.
They are, and this is exactly how Bremen started on Thursday against Monroeville. Just nothing, kind of standing still is Calvert right now, just not on their feet. Their expressions are really blank. They haven't, it's been a difficult start for them. They need an attack to drop, and they get one.
And the first point comes after 5. We talk a lot about this young lady and Zoe Meyer, the 5'10 junior. She can jump out of this building. And we'll see how this works. You get the serve for the second time now if you're Calvert. Bremen with a set at the net. Dinked across for the point.
Good change of pace there. Kramer hammered her first one, went off speed, and hit it right in the middle of the defense for Tiffin Calvert. Nothing they can do but watch it. Good placement by Kramer.
The winner's quality meets replay, giving you a good look from up high on that one. And another ball just zipped across. White over on Meyer's hit. Cardinals able to get right back over, and it seemed to play in a perfect setup for them. But Josie Reinhardt just not high enough on her return.
Caught the top of the tape. That time Tiemann took the first touch. She's their setter, so they get a little bit out of the system. Got a decent opportunity. Just mishit for the first hitting error against the Cardinals.
And the point again.
Boy, service error, that's odd. We haven't talked about it yet. We'll mention it here. Tiffin Calvert serves the ball at 95% accuracy. You don't see them make many service mistakes, and they also record about 3 aces per set, so they serve well, and they also get points out of it. A rare service error by the Senecas.
Saw them beat Lipsick in the regional finals. I was talking about that earlier. They only had 2 in the entire 3-set win, but another block. And you can see the dejection from this Calvert team. Down 8-2 out of the gate. They're not used to having that number be that way on the board.
Coach Lori Rombach still has not taken a timeout. We'll see how long she'll let this slide go until she uses her first of 2 timeouts.
Set of the net, looking for the double block again, and it drops just inside of Bremen. Right idea, just sometimes the ball doesn't fall how you want it to.
Well, Ashlyn Jones, just a sophomore, she's our leading attacker on average. She averages 2.6 kills a set, carries just under a 200 hitting percentage.
Almost an ace down to the floor for White. Back to the opposite side, smoked, and White now will set it back into the middle. Heminger had to bail her out. Nobody was really where she wanted to be.
Opportunity for New Bremen taken care of.
Off the fingers of Emma White, you see her wince as .9 on the board for the Cardinals. They are fired up here early.
Great start, and still 9-3, 6-point deficit. The biggest lead has been 6, is that correct? So,
yep.
Wow, hard serve.
Unless this is going to be a heck of a free ball.
Can't do it.
Just not high enough for the return, and Lila Garrigan back-to-back points put the first team into the 10 spot here for New Bremen.
I know that's a difficult play, but good teams, and they are a good team, usually can free ball a ball over like that. Just another sign right now that the Calvert Senecas are just not there yet. Everything's going the wrong way for them.
Katie Rombach into the net as she came in on the last rotation. Now 3 straight points and an 8-point lead for New Bremen. And you're right.
They reshift their defense, their serve receiving here a little bit.
That free ball was one where I saw Heminger run the length of the floor, off the tape, down for a point. And here comes the timeout. But Heminger did that in Elida. But right now it's all Cardinals. They lead at 12-3 as we take a break here on NKTelco Sports.
For over 150 years, Cargill has been helping people be successful worldwide. Cargill has always done business responsibly and in a way that makes us proud. Whether it is educating farmers in India or providing bikes to students with perfect attendance right here at home, Cargill is helping people thrive. The Sydney plant is just one piece of a global company that provides employment for hundreds of thousands, food for the world, and support for thousands of businesses. Be a part of something great at Cargill.com.
12-3 New Bremen as we come back inside the Nutter Center. Jeff, you were just saying during the break.
Well, this rough start for Seneca. The Senecas, the Cardinals have dominated, but the Senecas have just been, I won't say the simple plays, but yeah, flat, good word. On their heels, and the plays that normally they make 19 out of 20 times, just free balling balls over and such, and getting the ball over. They've had difficulty with another service ace, yeah.
Heminger fought one off really out of the back row as she was trying to just send it forward. It went up into the middle part of the net where she couldn't do anything with it, neither could a teammate.
Well, they'll bring in Ashton Heminger, number 22, a freshman now, to kind of basically slow down the momentum. You can't take another timeout yet. You hope you wouldn't have to, but it does result in the service error for the Cardinals. And just on that serve there, Heminger, who went in to kind of break up the momentum, checks back out. And Lexi White, one of their better attackers, comes back to the front row where she's going to play now for 3 rotations.
Ashlyn Jones, the sophomore, doing the serving now for the Senecas. Returned to Heminger and bounced out of the back row. Set back across by White with a big right hand, and ultimately down for the point. If Blake Snyder had been able to keep that in play, I'm not really sure her team was going to be able to do much with it.
Good spot. The third kill for the Senecas here. They haven't had much offense, just the 5 points on 3 kills and 2 New Bremen errors.
Back set and a smack all the way into the backside of this gym. Zoe Meyer let it go. Claire Pape had a big attack, and she leads the team in kills, but not able to get one here. Now 13-6.
And 2 service errors here. Again,
uncharacteristic.
They don't make mistakes serving. 94.9% on the season. They had a total of 94 errors in all of their sets played this year, and already 2 here in the first 20 points of set 1.
So errors for everybody. The attack error followed by the service error. Now Diana Heitkamp with the service for New Bremen. From the right side, the block. Gehrig able to fight it off. Bremen did not panic, and they come up with a point.
A good net play. They talked well on the overpass off the block, and they communicated well, got right back in the system and recorded another kill. I believe it was by put-off, number 8, her first.
Hand high in the length of the floor, now on the run for New Bremen. They return out of the back row, bumped out by Diana Heitkamp. Sent back across, and a beautiful high ball that Heminger fights off just underneath the scoreboard.
Didn't make it. I don't think it ever went over.
Bremen.
It's New Bremen's point. It's 4 hits. It never went over.
For a quick second, they were trying to decide if they were going to have words with the official.
Well, they keep motioning out, but I don't know. Nonetheless, it's New Bremen's point. I don't think it ever made it. Heitkamp serves now her 3rd serve in a row.
A couple of officials from Northeast Ohio and Brook Park and Parma represented is just outside of the net. Bremen back again off the set, draw everybody in, dink it across. That works. White just inside the pin, off the right hand of it looked like put off, and for a Calvert point.
Lexi White now with 2 kills. She able to muscle through that double block of the Cardinals, and another good run. New Bremen gets about 3 or 4 points at time when they had possession, and anytime you go get 3, give up 1, get 3, give up 1, you're gonna be just fine.
Sydney Johnson serves it across to Blake Snyder here. First set, blocked off the right hand and out of Katie Rombach. And
yeah, Paul, her 2nd kill. And again, we mentioned the Cardinals average just under 12 kills per set. And they have about 6 girls that average about 2 kills per set. Now what's nice, sometimes girls get hot, they may get 5 or 6 in one set. So what it comes down to is it's tough to double team certain hitters. You just don't know where they're going to go, and they're also capable of getting strong attacks. Ashton Heitkamp with a termination block.
Just a terrific play as you get a look at the winner's quality meets replay. This looks like it's going to go for Calvert, but she just outplayed.
And that's a solo block. Usually they go up together. Ashton Heitkamp, good job with the touch and getting it down for her 2nd block of set 1.
And you beat the block by trying to go cross court, but it won't stay in for Rombach, despite some discussion.
It was out, and it's a good angle. I mean, those are the right ideas. You're hitting, and usually the shoulders aren't always square. It's a tough ball to defend or to play. Just you got to keep it in bounds, make New Bremen make an effort at it.
Bremen will put 4 players up at the net as they are able to dink across again. Nearly worked for about the 3rd time. And the point continues to go their way as they are 5 away from winning this first set.
That time the setter, I believe, the back row, I thought they had a 6-2, but she was in the front row or came from the back and hit the ball above the net. Violation.
Heminger down to the floor, now set back. And that'll change it. If somebody can reach across and just swat that ball out of your hand, changes your entire idea. Cardinals don't panic as they work out of the middle row, back to Heminger. Set by White on the run, nearly fell down. And the ball misses the back line. This is one thing we talked about Coach Lori Rombach, is she'll take a timeout. Her first year, it is all Cardinals right now. They lead 21-7 here in set 1 on NKTelco Sports.
The big game is right around the corner. Are you ready for it? Come into Francis Furniture and find the right fit for you and your friends. in our Lazy Boy Comfort Studio. With Lazy Boy Premier sofa and sectionals, you can custom order a look that's just your style. Choose from hundreds of decorator fabrics or choose genuine leather for its luxurious feel and durability. Come into Francis Furniture today, the area's only Lazy Boy Comfort Studio.
21-7 New Bremen here in set one. Coach Lori Rombach and her crew trying to figure out exactly what to do. Neat story about her. She actually played at Calvert in the early 90s. Played at John Carroll University in the greater Cleveland area. As you get a look at Coach Diana Kramer trying to mop up the floor. Was a state qualifier in the long jump. She said she met with a track coach at Brown University. Said, I want to play volleyball too. And they said, no, maybe this isn't the school for you. She ends up at John Carroll. It's a terrific athlete in her own right. Understands what needs to be done to get her team back in. And I bet you she could draw up Abby Tiemann with service errors. That might be a part of it too.
Well, it worked. The timeout we've talked about before. Sometimes there's timeouts. It's ironic how many times you come out and the serve goes in the net or carries long. They get a break. They need a lot of serves now to do the Senecas.
And that blocked at the net by Zoe Meyer.
Again, I believe up by herself, basically a solo block. She averages over a block. Now there's a stat you just don't see much of. Zoe Meyer, 5'10" junior, averaging over 1 block a set. You see a lot of touches. You don't see a lot of blocks where they go down for the immediate termination or for the immediate point.
Burtis nearly put that back up herself. The problem, that ball was hit so hard when it came off of her redirect, her teammates couldn't do anything with it. New Bremen now 3 points away from taking set one.
Taylor Paul with her third kill. Again, a lot of velocity on these New Bremen attacks, and they swing hard. Again, there's another service error back-to-back for the Cardinals. The risk reward, they can accept or handle. You know, some people can't handle any mistakes and they fret over it and they say, make sure you always get it in. New Bremen's, we're going to serve it hard. If one goes out, we're going to come back and try again because 4 or 5 might go in. And that's what they've dealt with and they live with. After that timeout, New Bremen has committed a number of errors, a couple of service errors, a hitting error. They'd played very clean, just 3 errors up until that point. Now 3 in about the past 5 possessions or so. So it's
off the Lexi White serve and the side out. The ball rolls straight down the tape.
Taylor Paul with 4 kills.
And that's one thing. You look at this tournament run for Tiffin Calvert. They have only lost 1 of their 19 sets that they've played, and that came in the district level. Ball ripped across. You could hear it here at court level. Hit off of Hemminger's hands. Cardinals again in control at 23-11. Off of White out of the back row for Burtis. Set across for White. And again, it missed the line. Terrific idea. It's just not going where she wants. And Bremen a point away from taking this first set. 24-11 in relatively quick time in about 10 minutes. Hemminger fights another one off. The reactionary shots, though, able to hit it off the tip. That's the same play that between Zoe Meyer and Lexi White they've run a couple of times. This time, though, it's fruitful to cut the lead to 24-12.
Well, they needed it. I mean, they have a long way to go. And if they can't win set one, if nothing else, work out the bugs, the kinks, whatever it is. Get back to what got you here. And it's been positive play. They need to get some rhythm, and not going to get it in set one.
Bang. That is
Josie Reinhardt.
A big smash and a 25-12 first set win for New Bremen. They're up 1-0. Set 2 is on the way from the Nutter Center when we come back here on NKTelco Sports.
At Wilson Health, we're extending care beyond the walls of the hospital with resources designed to keep you in charge of your health.
Our independence and connection to the community are unique in a world where big healthcare strives to act like corporations.
Our tools may be the same, but we are different.
We're neighbors, friends, and family who truly care about the people who live here.
We call it caring without limits, and it's just the beginning of a whole new Wilson Health.
Together, we are family, working safely for our loved ones.
We are problem solvers who challenge the status quo and drive improvement.
We care about our customer relationships.
We stay true to our values, caring and respecting one another.
We embrace change as we journey through our career.
We are Precision Strip, the world's leading processor of rolled steel and aluminum.
Precision Strip, doing the exceptional.
Division IV state championship game, set number 1 at 25-12 in favor of the defending state champions in New Bremen. And Jeff, as we look at New Bremen, you were just talking about something about Coach Kramer off the air.
Well, earlier this summer, beginning of the season, I should say, she was on the radio and they were asking her about volleyball, and she was going on about, what they're looking forward to. But she also made this comment. She goes, volleyball is unique. You can lose a set 25-11, 25-12, and you can still come back and win the match. So New Bremen's been on both sides of that. They've lost, the state semifinals match. They got behind, didn't play very well in game 1, got better in game 2, and ended up playing very well in 3, 4, and 5, winning that match. Tonight, wholly different story. The Cardinals come out, they dominate. They have 11 kills, 2 aces, 2 blocks, only commit 6 errors in that first set. Seneca only able to get 5 kills, had a block, but Seneca committed 9 errors. So New Bremen dominated. They kept their foot on the throttle. And when you just keep that pressure applied, just look back, there were very few free balls. New Bremen attacks everything, and you never get like an easy ball, if you will, just to take a breath once in a while and to get your team into offense. New Bremen kept the throttle down, and they really executed well in that first set. But that's 1 of 3 you need to get.
Bremen with 4 aces in the first set. Calvert did not have one.
Wow, and New Bremen hit 304, hitting percentage of 304 in their semifinal against Monroeville. They hit 0% and 0.019 in their first 2 sets, which were losses. So very good job attacking for the Cardinals.
Cardinals now on the left side, just in front of us here on the court, and they continue to just disguise where they're going to come from. Calvert so much that they were confused about it. Meyer had a ball pop in the air and didn't really have an idea, I think, she couldn't touch it. Nobody else did either.
Miscommunication, and when things don't go well, those types of plays really just have a bad ending, in this case, for the Senecas.
Teaming with a knuckleball across. Bremen led 5-0 in the first. They're up 1-0 here in the second. Nearly pulled off 2-0. Up to the net, and they're getting the one big thing I've noticed from Calvert is they are frustrated. You can see it, and they're making those mistakes. You talked about the errors in the first set, but watch how they react to a ball. It's not normally the way that they are. They're getting terrific saves, like that one for Blake Snyder.
We hype them up, and then New Bremen ultimately commits the hitting error, but boy, New Bremen's attacks, Seneca's doing a decent job, fielding those hard-driven attacks, but after a while, your mindset just almost gets wore out because you're constantly having to defend attacks. And New Bremen that time let them off the hook with a hitting error, but New Bremen's been much more aggressive on offense and been able to swing a lot harder.
And the 2-1 lead now for Calvert. This is the first lead that they have had today.
Well, that's what the Senecas need. They need a break, and they need to take advantage of it. New Bremen's had back-to-back errors. The first ball handling error called against New Bremen today. And they get a termination block.
Meyer got her fingers on top of it. Now 3-1. And both coaches do a terrific job of trusting their young ladies into being able to dig themselves out of holes. Right now, it's Coach Kramer who's got to trust her young ladies. Dinked back across, able to get to it now for Calvert was Ashlyn Jones. And a ball that just tried to take out my buddy Bryant Billing. He saved it into about the 5th row. Those people are going to be mad when they come and ask for that ball back.
You don't get to keep these.
You pay them like $80, they might give it to you.
Nice little run there by the Senecas of Calvert, able to get a block there from Meyer and White and get a couple points. They give it back on the hitting error now. See when their defense can stop the offense of the Cardinals.
Just not high enough to set that up for New Bremen. That ball never got across. So they trail now 4-2 to the Senecas of Tiffin Calvert out of the Sandusky Bay Conference this year, where they went 13-1. Bremen with the kill for Taylor Paul. She leads the team in aces. And now right on cue goes back to serve at down 4-3.
44 aces on the season, a serving percentage of 92%. So she not only strikes it hard, but she keeps them in play even when she's not recording an ace. So a good server and Paul.
She nearly put one off Alexi White's shoulder as the big swing from Rachel Kramer goes for the point. We're tied at 4 now.
We've seen Rachel Kramer play here a number of games now in tournament and has a, I don't know if it's just me, but a unique attacking approach. Really winds up, and a lot of times will cut it diagonally. You think she's hitting it to the right, she'll cut it left, and it's maybe the big swing like you mentioned that makes it so hard to stop.
Ball directly into the net.
First service error against the Cardinals in game number 2. They had 3 in game number 1. And on the season, they average or serve at 90%, and they record just under 3 aces a set due to the Cardinals.
3-sport athlete in Heminger now serving for the Senecas. Some softball and some basketball in her career, and she's all Sandusky Bay Conference in all 3, but it is right now the point for Bremen to get tied at 5-5. And I love the energy for Coach Kramer. Walked right back out during that sub and told her ladies what she wanted from them.
Yeah, there's a lot of good aggressiveness on both sides, and the Cardinals play it with a lot of emotion. Getting the fan base behind us is like would it be the 7th man? In this case, maybe 7, 8, 9, and 10. They've got a strong.
I'd say about the 1,000th man by the look of the crowd.
The town's probably empty, and Reinhardt rewards him with a kill that was unplayable by the Senecas.
And block at the net again. Just not able to get it back up, but it's a much different Calvert team here in the second set. When they come out, they've made a couple of mistakes, and we talked about now as New Bremen takes just their second lead of this set. They were panicking earlier on. They're not doing that right now. They might be pretty soon, though, after what happened right there.
Yeah, that's, again, just something that doesn't normally happen when you're watching the ball and just not able to get out of the way in time.
Addison Pape, the leader in assists. She's got a different looking serve than a lot of her teammates. Comes up with that flat palm shot. Now,
there's that shot I was talking about. It looks like she's going to the right corner. Next thing you know, it ends up in front of the Calvert bench.
I'd be shocked if this gets to 10-5 if there's not a timeout for Calvert. Just has that feel. You don't want to get this second set away.
No, she didn't call a timeout early in game 1 when they were down a lot. So, and they actually had a lead here. So, Bremen again coming back with some momentum, and there's a good answer though by the Senecas, a much needed point, and just the first kill by Gehring of the match.
So 8-6 lead for New Bremen. They lead 1-0. Trying to go back-to-back in state championships. Their conference mate in Versailles will have their opportunity to win one too coming up this afternoon. But right now you can see Claire Pape on fire as she sends that one down for a point.
She had nice rhythm, really got her arm extended up high and snapped it, and that was a top-down approach. She does lead the Cardinals in attacking by percentage points, averages 2.2 kills per set. A number of her other fellow attackers are at that 2.1 or 1.8. I mean, it's 6 hitters that come up and can do damage, and if you stop one, the others are there ready for the option to attack as well.
Another service error for New Bremen, and Ashlyn Jones to serve for the Senecas. A flat-handed shot for Abby Tiemann, rejected right back to her. Needed the Matumbo finger.
Needed something, didn't quite get enough on, and right there to put it back was Gehring, who averages just under a block per set, 5'7" junior.
And nearly an ace for Calvert again. Talked about their serve percentage when this one got started in our keys to the game. Bremen able to get it right back to it as Calvert has to scramble. Emma White wanted everybody to get it out of the way so she could set it. And ultimately across, New Bremen will get the point. I was waiting to see which way that went. They didn't actually make a call as to why.
I missed it. I was thought it was an attack, so I'm not real sure.
Tried that two-handed push.
Okay, so attacking violation or ball handling.
They called it
error.
an attack error.
Okay.
So the ball ripped across. Now is Bremen back to the lead at 2.
Again, this is the type of situation if Bremen gets on offense and can get a much more aggressive attack, force them to make a play.
Dug out of the back row again. Terrific job by the Bremen back line, and they stay with it to go up 11-8.
Good play by Diana Heikamp, getting up to the setter, able to put it down. Her first kill, she had 1 in game number 1. But again, the Bremen just continues to attack, and overall, those attacks, that repeatability, if you will, of just aggressive attack wears you down.
Emma White with a palm shot from just outside the pin. Bremen changed where they were going to go, kind of tried to disguise it. Calvert didn't fall for it. Tipped into the back row in the wrong way. That ball, as soon as it came over the net for Calvert, you pretty much had to feel like they were going to get that point. it just continued to go the wrong way.
The first touch was, I believe, by the setter team, and she was forced to take the first one, and then it was not able to be played. And Kate Rombach, the coach's daughter, I believe you told me, the freshman, with her first kill of the match. She averages 2 kills per set, got her first one there, much needed.
Sydney Johnson with the point on the serve. And don't look now, but it's 11-10 to Bremen.
Well, Seneca, after a number of errors in the first set, only has 3 so far. They had 9 in the first set.
That's an east-west ball coming across. Set right back your way. I don't think you get a point for that.
I'll let it go.
12-10 now to Bremen after that ball. That was obliterated on a couple of different levels.
Very good timing, and when their rhythm is in place, you know, we don't have a radar gun as they do in baseball, but I would like our antennas on serves, they monitor that. I'm curious what the speed is of some of those attacks.
That'll be the next thing.
On a smartphone, maybe?
Maybe. Mine won't read it that quickly. Set back across now again for Reinhardt. And kept in play. They're going to end up with 4 hits, but kind of akin to the game a couple of days ago, or last week, I should say now, for Bremen, where they had a kick point. They had a ball saved all the way across, and it was one of the craziest things I've seen in a while.
Yeah, it's legal, and it counts, and read that too, where it was a rare thing, but it happens once in a while.
If you want to go back and watch that, by the way, you can. If you look at what New Bremen's schedule is, that was the Fort Loramie game, the Jackson Center game. But you can go back and watch that on our Facebook page or at nktelco.net. All those are on demand. Now set at 13-11. Meyer up and down on a point for the Senecas.
New Bremen there to defend, but Zoe Meyer just that strong. Her second kill. She had 2 in game 1. Her average, remember, is just over 2, but she hits a very nice .303 hitting percentage for Zoe Meyer.
From the right side, pinned across the double block, and look what I found. Meyer able to flip one off her index finger. Tipped across as Heminger keeps it in play. Meyer again. That one was more off her wrist. Right back off of Sophie Burtis for the point.
Rachel Kramer, her 6th kill of the match, 3 in each game. Again, playing very strong in the front row. Rachel Kramer, the 5'9" senior. Had a couple of blocks in there and a couple service aces. Performing well in all 3 phases of offense for the Cardinals today.
Dug out by White on the other side for the Senecas. That's a long shot right back down to the floor. Meyer is having a terrific second set right now for Calvert as they're within 1 under Bremen.
Meyer with her second block. Good timing as it was kind of a down ball or a free ball a little bit for the Cardinals. Timed it well, and good hands, good contact. No chance for the Cardinals to keep it alive.
Heminger floats one across. Now just inside, wow. That ball is a smoke by Reinhardt for the point.
Reinhardt, yeah, that was well timed. Again, she's 5 feet 10 inches tall and good hops. Gets up very well. When you're hitting the ball down and at that velocity, it's just almost impossible. And more times than not, you're going to score points on that. And she did her second kill of game 2.
And it's crazy, the apex of her jump where she was able to do that at up over the net is now more of a transition shot put across, blocked at the net. You saw Ashlyn Jones coming in the distance from where we sit at, and she had a big opportunity on her mind. She didn't, however, I think, anticipate the 2 blockers that are waiting on her.
Rachel Kramer, Clara Pape would be those 2 blockers you mentioned, and they each, Kramer and Pape, with 2 blocks here in this set number 2.
Ball floated back, missing the back corner for Emma White, and the lead now up to 17-13, and now I think there's a timeout coming here before long.
Probably the biggest New Bremen lead of game 2. Remember, they had trailed a little bit. The Senecas actually had a lead.
Yeah, it was 4-3 for Calvert at one point as they just inside the back line cut it to 17-14.
A sigh of relief for the Senecas. Ashlyn Jones finding a rare opening in the defense of New Bremen and kept it in bounds. They've had a number of hitting errors, but fortunately for Ashlyn Jones, able to find pay dirt.
No return on the shot that Rachel Kramer hit up off the middle of her forearm, and she turned right to her team and said, yep, that's my bad.
Mentioned that last attack by Ashlyn Jones, kind of a spot placement. She leads her team in attacking, and that's just her second kill of the day.
This is going to be an interesting argument. They're going to say long. I thought, from my perspective, that maybe New Bremen is right with their attempted challenge. I thought it went off Hemminger's fist. Doesn't matter because look at the swing. 17-17 now.
Well, good run of offense. I believe it was 13, maybe 17 when they took over, and a couple aces. It all started with that kill on the back row, but then a couple service aces. So the first touch for New Bremen's got to get back in the rhythm.
Yeah, it was 17-14 Bremen on the side out. Now back-to-back points. Make it 3 straight down to the floor in front. And here's the timeout, but it comes for Bremen. The Senecas are a happy group right now, leading 18-17 in set 2 here on NKTelco Sports.
Our 1,500 square foot showroom and pro shop at bowlerstore.com is stocked with bowling balls, bags, shoes, accessories, and apparel. The pro shop is equipped with 2 drill presses, measuring devices, and bowling ball maintenance machines to keep your ball rolling great. We offer private lessons for individuals and groups. Moxie's Extra Pair inside bowlerstore.com is also available to rent for private events. Be sure to check out bowlerstore.com or visit our pro shop in Versailles, Ohio for all your bowling product needs.
Back here on NKTelco, it is 18-17 Calvert in set number 2. They trail 1-0. Big thanks to some of our sponsors for helping us make this possible in NKT.TV, bowlerstore.com. Find the pocket without emptying yours. And right now the pocket is closed for Calvert.
Well, following a timeout by the opposition, you hope that you come back the aggressor, and that was just a miscommunication. I guess those are the ones you hate to see. That wasn't good for the Senecas, and they give New Bremen a break and the ball back.
Service now coming off the hand of Rachel Kramer, and a point for Calvert. They work quickly here to take this lead. Today's game also brought to you by Wagner's IGAs, serving the community for over 95 years. Along with Grand Lake Health and Clopay Building Products. Clopay Building Products have America's favorite garage door. Set just inside the smash. That was a look at my left hand, watch the right. Hemminger with the save.
Put off with a kill. Beautiful save. Just keeping it in play. They came over to press row, but boy, put off. Never gave up on defense. She waited for it and just put it down with that like two-handed block shot. I don't know the proper way to say it, but did not give the Senecas a chance. Yeah, slam dunk. Legal shot. Legal.
She just slammed it. No fancy way. Down to the floor, though, the response for Calvert. And Pickle White, Lexi or Emma. I think Lexi is who's going to get credit for it, as it's now 20-19 Calvert. It's really their first handful of leads since early on at ultimately 5-3. Ball nipped the tape and down for the ace.
Now they're getting some of the breaks New Bremen received in that first set. Second service ace by Sydney Johnson here in game number 2. That's the 4th ace the Senecas have earned here in game 2.
21-19, New Bremen leading 1-0. One ball dipped in a terrific save by Ashlyn Jones. Ripped the other way for Blake Snyder. Set at the net, pushed back across. Here comes the setup and a double block. Keeps it in play, though. Calvert and now Bremen trying to fight it off at the net. The no-look push across for Madison Pate. Inside. It's a terrific point here on both sides, as that ball just sailed long for Taylor Paul to go get.
Kind of carried on her, couldn't keep it in her hitting zone, and when you have the pin to work around, made it a very difficult attack. And like I said, that was a long volley, and the Senecas come away with a big point.
Still serving is Sydney Johnson. Aces. 23-19. Calvert now in the timeout. We'll stay here and you take a look at some of the fine folks helping us bring you this game. Moran's Refrigeration, your appliances experts for over for over 70 years in Northwest Ohio. It's early in the morning. PSG Automotive Outfitters, along with Hometown Opportunity, who connect local companies with local talent. The Minster Bank, they provide financial solutions for a lifetime. Also, our friends at Schreederman Pharmacy, located in Salina, Coldwater, Minster, New Bremen, St. Mary's, and Wapakoneta. However, there might not be a lot of people left in New Bremen right now. New Knoxville Supply, along with Minster Dental Care, Cargill, Francis Furniture, Wilson Health, where they provide caring without limits, Precision Strip. All the fine sponsors of today's game, along with our Keyhole Pizza, keys to the game, and our quality meats for 90 years replays, brought to you by Winners Meats. And our scoreboard sponsor, the First National Bank, the folks who help put these games in motion. Calvert leading 23-19. That ball will be tipped, and Calvert's going to get the point, much to the disgust of anyone rooting for the Cardinals.
I think there was conversation, maybe hit the pin, but
that's what I thought.
Kate Rombach gets her second kill, set point for the Senecas.
I thought it hit the pin. Blocked at the net, saved on the New Bremen side by Claire Pape. And the point for the Cardinals on the mistake. Not many in this set for Calvert.
Well, Putoff will get credit for the kill. She drew the blockers, if you will, into the net, but a big break for New Bremen. Must play mistake-free now. They're down by 4, and have a good server for them up now. And Abby Tiemann, 93% server on the season.
Tiemann with a long-running hop step. Sends one over that Calvert is able to get right back to from the right side. Fought off by Snyder, the libero for New Bremen. Dinked off a couple of hands. Why not? Over to Heminger, the opposite libero. And down to the floor. And for the point is Katie Rombach. So set 2 goes to Calvert at 25-20. We're tied at 1 here in Dayton on NKTelco Sports.
Wagner's IGA has been servicing their communities for more than 95 years, spanning 3 generations. Wagner's founded their business on 2 basic principles: excellent customer service and quality products. Visit all our locations and experience the finest selection of deli, fresh meats, and variety of beverage choices. While there, don't forget to check out our vast selection of fresh coffee beans, produce, dairy, and bakery items. Visit Wagner's today in Minster, Fort Laramie, and New Bremen, and check us out on Facebook.
At Joint Township District Memorial Hospital, your comfort and care is our #1 priority. Our surgical nerve blocks are a great way to reduce pain and can be used for arm, shoulder, hip, knee, ankle, and foot surgeries. The nerve blocks decrease the stress of surgery on your body, requires less anesthesia and pain medications, and in many cases can offer relief for several days. Visit grandlakehealth.org for details on all of our services.
Each team's got a set here in the D4 state finals. New Bremen won the first set 25-12. Much better set for the Senecas of Tiffin Calvert in set 2 as they take it 25-20. And Jeff, we were talking about the stats and the hitting percentages. Obviously, the attacks are a lot different in that second set.
Well, in the first set, Seneca hit a -136. Obviously lost. This set hit just under 100, but New Bremen, who hit 300 in set 1, was just at 100. So the hitting percentages for each team in set 2 much more even. The number of errors for each team in set 2 were about even, but Senecas pulled away with that narrow victory. Played much cleaner, much more aggressive, did the Senecas in set 2.
White is able to be helped out by one of her teammates. That ball was smoked right back at her. I sit about 6 feet away from where she's standing at, and I heard it. I didn't see it. Terrific save by Heminger, her leader in digs, and it's not even close on her team. She does everything for them. Inside, Meyer with the block. Right back up top and off the hands of White. Meyer looking for it again. She's blocked.
Boy, good net play by both teams. Putoff, though, finishes a long volley, some good digs, as you mentioned, some good touches at the net, as you were talking about, and actually it comes up with Macy Putoff getting the stuff block against a very good Zoe Meyer.
First team All-Ohio for a reason. Putoff now, I say a good thing about it, and she serves it into the net.
6th service error of the match. New Bremen had 3 in game 1, 2 in game number 2, and the first one here to even the score at 1 apiece.
Calvert will serve from the back corner. The only young lady is Lexi White, who really works from the left as she tries to put a little bit of spin on that ball. Blocked to the net What's good for one side is apparently good for the other. The combo block between Emma White and Zoe Meyer. And we talked about Meyer and the keys to the game before this one got started. She's really making a difference.
She's been very good at the net. She's had a block or multiple blocks in each of these 3 sets already. And no touch. It's a long attack by the Cardinals. And you mentioned the number of touches. Not all those become blocks, but it does force hitters then to keep that in mind when they're going up to attack. They know they have a good opponent on the other side who can possibly block this, and then they got to be creative. And sometimes you outthink yourself and hit it long or into the net. Good play here by number 5.
Terrific save by Burtis. Right back to it, and the Cardinals make the mistake on the return. Up the ladder, but can't find the last rung is Taylor Paul.
Again, trying to hit around the blockers, knowing they're there. And some opponents, you can just wail right through them because they're not there in time, and you can hit over them or through them. And teams that do well usually also can block well.
Said before this game got started, when I saw Calvert earlier in the regionals beat Lipsick, a very tall team that does a lot of things well. The one thing that impressed me is now it's a 5-1 Calvert lead, and a timeout is their rotation. They are rotating into a timeout, up 4 here in set 3 on NKTelco Sports.
NKTelco Sports. More than 140 local high school and college games. Football, basketball, volleyball, baseball, softball, and soccer. Support your local team with NKTelco Sports and promote your business to 250,000 households in Northwest Ohio. Call 1-888-NKTelco and get in the game.
5-1 Calvert here in set number 3. It's a 1-1 set tie. Calvert is doing some impressive things right now.
Yeah, they're playing well. A lot of emotion now with them, positive emotion. You talked about game 1. They looked like they were flat, and just everything, their facial expressions really looked sad, in other words. And right now they are fired up. They're getting some good play on all facets of the game.
Ball ripped across the net off of White's fingers, able to stay with it. Heminger right back to her now as New Bremen sets it back across. Out of the back row again. Terrific digs on these balls.
Heminger, that went.
Another one that's saved. You can see the net moving back and forth in the distance as Bremen tried to go cross court. Ashton Heitkamp goes for the block at the net and picks it up with a little bit of help from Rachel Kramer.
Heitkamper's 3rd block of the game, had 2 in game number 1. Kramer still a monster of the wall there. Her 4th block so far. And again, they went to Heitkamp a number of times there in her attacks. The Senecas played up nicely, but then Heitkamp part of that termination block. They get a service ace now from Taylor Paul.
Well, and again, what is crazy about it is the 4 attack errors by New Bremen on the first 5 Calvert points. Not something they do a lot, and you want to get a team out of their system. You talked about it earlier. Calvert's done a good job, but right now, back in the system, the ace off of White. It's 5-4.
It's contagious how just certain things, back-to-back bang-bang points. That was a short volley there. You know, those are quick points. It's like hitting a 3 in basketball. Bang-bang. You get 3 of them here. New Bremen got the block, then they get back-to-back kills, and suddenly they'd been down 5-1. It's now a 1-point lead. They have a chance here with this volley to go on offense and take during a tie.
You can see that coming a mile away. A terrific set by Ashton Heitkamp, and Rachel Kramer stuffs it away for the second tie of this 3rd set.
Well, Kramer, I wonder if she has shoulder ice it down. She swings hard and winds her body up. Again, it looks like she's going there, and she hit it almost in our lap.
Nearly into the wall, dug out. Heminger able to put her fingers underneath it. Is Ashton or AJ, however they wrote it. It's both ways. Calvert able to get it back out of the back row again. That looked like it went off the head of a New Bremen player. Heminger with the dive. It stays for New Bremen. Not able to save one here. And then don't look now. It's 6-5 and the defending champs with their first lead since 1-0. Right back across. If ever you're going to be nervous.
I was nervous.
It was Emma White diving nearly into my lap. just another ball, and Bremen looks like a totally different team coming out of that timeout. And we go into another. It was 5-1 on the last timeout. It's 7-5 Bremen now, as they will continue to serve when we come back here on NKTelco Sports.
Clopay Building Products, America's favorite garage door, is now hiring for all manufacturing and over-the-road CDLA driving positions. Clopay is the largest residential garage door manufacturer in North America, and we are continuing to grow. Join our team and work in a safe, clean, modern environment. Clopay offers a great benefits package, is an equal opportunity employer, and a drug-free work environment. Imagine the possibilities when you open the door to your career at clopaydoor.com/careers.
The Nutter Center has seen a lot of terrific games over the years, whether it's Horizon League play or the state finals. You get a feeling, and I said when a lot of people asked, this has the possibility of being a 5-set match because of how these teams have performed all year long.
It has. They've done this time and time again. They battle, they compete well, they play hard, and they play fast. I mean, both these teams play quick. They get it in offense and they go, and there's a lot of strong attacking that, by and far will win you points. And the defensive plays like that extend these volleys, and it's a mental game after a while, and just unbelievable how these plays go. And boy, timeout. And I was going to say a point for Seneca, but evidently a net violation.
I think that's what. Wait, they haven't changed it because the floor official, I think she just got overruled.
Okay, so the point does go to Emma White. A much needed point to break that string of offense for the Cardinals following a timeout.
Yeah, 5 straight. Heminger says she's got it just underneath the Wright State scoreboard. And I don't know I think they're going to give a block, but that looked like it hit the top of the net more than anything.
Now I will contradict yourself. I have a better angle. I think that Kramer and Reinhardt went up. One of them got it from my angle.
It's probably because they're that quick. It just looks like it.
It was bang, bang. I thought, nonetheless, a termination block for the Cardinals. They stopped the chance for the Senecas to get consecutive serves.
And a point redirected at the net. Every point hanging in the balance, and after New Bremen, it goes up 9-6 now.
Well, Kramer, they attack. I've said this once, I've said it 100 times. They attack so well. Kramer swings hard. They're getting touches on it on the first touch, but boy, it's tough to control. And a couple of them have driven the setter right into the net.
Burtis on the touched point, now 9-7. New Bremen's lead cut to. So after the side out, it'll be Emma White, the 5'7" freshman. She does not waste time. She got up there and just powered that one across. The return, though, is long, and I think immediately Madison Pape knew that. Now 9-8 here in the ever-important set number 3. White serves right down Main Street. It's kind of a flat ball. It came right back off the hands of 2 different players in Shelby Heminger and A.J. Heminger.
Josie Reinhardt, her first kill of set number 3, has 4 on the afternoon. The Bremen back up by 2.
Yeah, doing the service is Rachel Kramer, one of the terrific seniors, has helped build and mold this program. That's what every other coach has talked about that has taken on New Bremen, as Calvert's point pulls them to back within 1. But that New Bremen has been building this program for the last 4 years with this group. The defending state champs, and again, 24-4. Their only losses, they're all conference losses to the other 3 of the top 4 in the state for most of the year. Back-to-back errors. This one is going to be Claire Pape. And just that quickly, we're tied at 10. Third tie of this third set. Snyder did not panic. Right back to the opposite side and pushed across by Ashlyn Jones. Ball hangs up in the air for quite a while. These are a lot of weirdly redirected balls right now. It's Heminger with that running jump man shot. Blocked and hit the pin on the block, so Bremen.
Yep. Claire Pape now with 3 kills in the afternoon, 1 in each set. And big point to keep Bremen on top. They have that 1-point lead. And
Diana Heitkamp, the sophomore, with the ball in her hand and the right hand above the head. fires one across. That had a lot of loft to it. Redirected right back. Bremen from the right side. That's a terrific angle for that ball to come to Claire Pape. Cardinals stay with it on a long point. Heminger fights it off. Down to the floor goes Gehrig. Return this. Wow. Neither team wants to lose this point. There have been about 20 touches already on this point. Sent at the net across the two hands, and again down to the floor to keep it alive is Emma White. Not this time. Not this time. Not this point.
Whoa, what a volley. Taylor Paul, her first kill of the set, kept her composure. They went to Paul a lot. Seneca's dug it out. She kept swinging. New Bremen made some great plays. Seneca made some great plays. That's a big point, and we're at 12-10.
Did not know. That's, again, not only big because we're not tied, more than anything, as a block falls down on Calvert's side, and in the net they will go. So New Bremen with 3 straight points now out of a 10-10 tie.
That's a first error, I believe, hitting error that the Senecas have had this set number 3, unless I've not been writing them down correctly, but a very clean game for Calvert here in game 3.
Again, it was New Bremen who had 4 right out of the gate as the long run on the save for Heitkamp keeps it alive. Set back for White, obliterates one cross court. Right back to it, blocked and into the other TV feeds. There are multiple throughout the course of the day, but Bremen is able to extend their lead to 4.
Taylor Paul, back-to-back kills here, and that one was, her first one was that long volley. This one a good volley as well, but she stays focused to get the second kill.
Lofted across, and the right hand blocked at the net for a Calvert point. And one thing that's interesting is I believe that it is a rule if you're doing an OHSA allowed broadcast and sitting at center court, you have to be hit with a ball. Every single media entity has had it happen today.
Well, with these attacks being high speed, there's a good chance of deflections, if you will, and we've seen our share. We've had, all of us here have been on alert.
Down to the floor in front of the dive. Snyder kept it alive for a second. They'll say that the opposite end of the ball hit the floor.
Good try by Snyder, but just caught the hard surface first.
Should have kicked it. That's a weird rule. If it works for you, it works. 14-12 on the high shot back across by Taylor Paul. And down to the floor, inside the pin on the opposite side is Lexi White.
She's responded with a couple nice kills here in set number 3. She's one of the leaders at 2.4 on the season.
Remember, Bremen went on a run in this set that forced a timeout after they took one of their own when they were down 5-1. They've come back to stay within a point or 2 in the lead since that point, now up 15-13. Cardinals will serve here in front.
An odd silence right now as we're rotating players. It's like everyone's taking a breath. Again, we're at 15-13. We're basically just over half in a way, if you will, through game 3, and there's been a lot of excitement, a lot of energy.
This is a set you don't want to lose. Abby Tiemann doing the service for New Bremen. And the
2 hits, double contact.
To the chant, of course, of "you can't do that," which is always good. I'm always happy when they point that out.
Yep, making sure everyone knows what's going on. Student bodies, both here very well supportive. Seneca's making their first trip ever to state. New Bremen, as you mentioned, they're second after winning it last year. So a lot of excitement, as there should be when you make a state tournament.
I don't think a ball that all of the Senecas were ready for has hit long and no touch. We're tied at 15. And what's different about when Calvert goes back to serve, specifically with Sophie Burtis, the senior, she's got a much different delivery than everybody else on her team. Kind of twists her body, and you can't tell right away where the shot's going to go. White blocked to the net twice, to the point where she's down to the floor. Free ball to back across instead of the net for New Bremen. Point Cardinals.
Macy put off her first. You mentioned that serving, the approach, the different ways of delivering the ball, just like a baseball pitcher. Some guys coil up longer and you can't see the pitch coming out of his hand. Likewise here, that little bit, it may not seem much unless you played the game or ask one of these defensive specialists in the back row. You want to see the ball as much as possible. When it's kind of coming at different places or different areas, it makes a difference in how you receive.
I call it the Hideo Nomo effect. And now the kids in the stands have got to get back one of those volleyballs. We're tied at 16. Calvert players, when they go back to serve, staring up at the giant scoreboard. It's got to make them feel proud with their school logo on top of it. Bremen says, I'm not hip to that. Rachel Kramer with another kill.
Well, it's big lights, big city right here, and both teams are doing well, and Kramer continues to hit well out of the middle. She brings it from her right side to the left side of the court and does so very nicely. She hits just under 300 on the season.
Off the long run, Heminger with a big right hand, sends it over, and it is dug out by the Cardinals. Right back to her. She's like a magnet on this floor right now. Dinked across onto the run for Ashlyn Jones. Back inside the pin, almost a pop shot, and the momentum from that carried the Cardinals returner into the net.
Heitkamp caught just the bottom of the tape or the foot fault. She was tight roping it, not for sure which it was, but tough play there, trying to avoid the contact or the violation. Tie game at 17.
6th tie of this third set. You go 1, 5, 10, 15, 16, 17. All the ties here in this third set. Blocked the net, and ultimately nothing you can do. Just how hard you hit that ball, really. And watch the momentum be used against you if you're Josie Reinhardt.
Yep, self-defense. She couldn't come up with the first good clean touch and had to hit it again. Violation, credit Emma White and Lila Gehring on the stuff block.
First lead for Calvert since 5-4. Return back to Heminger. Didn't know what she wanted to do with it. White able to set it back. Returned over to the right side. Please don't run over me, I think was the question there, or the answer. Return back off the block. Back-to-back-to-back points. And it's similar to the way they built their lead in set 2. Calvert up by 2 at 19-17.
Emma White records the kill. She was part of the point before on the block, so Emma White, a freshman, 5'7" freshman, some big points here in state championship action.
Heminger, who's got 1,000+ career digs with the serve. She immediately said that's out, but she was half right.
It was out, but it was touched by a blocker. Ashton Heitkamp, her first kill.
So the run stops at 3, and it's 19-18 at Calvert. Ball fought off back to Burtis, up at the net, slapped across with a terrific force on it by Lila Gehring, the junior.
You know, I have her and Emma White, they tag team the termination block, and following that, each of them have come up with a kill. So White and Gehring both making some big points here for the Senecas.
Two players able to get right back to it as rolling down the tape for the point for De Bremen to cut the lead to 1.
Keeps it a one-possession game. Josie Reinhardt now with 5 kills on the afternoon. A big point there, as you said, to keep that spread within 1, a chance to tie here with Kramer serving.
There's not a lot of times I think you can make that play work. Rolled perfectly the entire length of that tape.
If you tried to do it, you couldn't.
No, there's no way. I couldn't do it no matter what. Bremen down by 1, make it 2. The beautiful cross-court winner for Ashlyn Jones.
She's just a sophomore. She leads the team in kills at 2.6. Hits just under 200, but that's just her 4th kill on the afternoon. She's been somewhat quiet as she serves now with her team up by 2.
Calvert went 7-1 away from home this year. They're 7-1 on neutral floors as well. Bremen trying to fight back down 2 in the waning points here in set 3. Each team has got 1, and just a miss hit on the way up for Lexi White.
Boy, just a second error committed by the Senecas. They played extremely clean. Now, they played this clean, and they're still only up by 1. New Bremen's had a number of errors. They've committed 8 errors, so Bremen's had 8 mistakes. Seneca's just 2, but still a 1-possession game. That's all that matters. Self-defense.
Lila Garrett.
There's touch.
Get that out of here.
That was blocked off 21. I thought, boy, I can't remind you.
You can look at the replay and maybe judge that one for yourself, but I can tell you nobody was more upset than Claire Pape. Turned to the chair official and said a couple of things to the point where I would say the captain in Rachel Kramer had to come over, ask, and then relay. And now whatever the question is,
there was,
you can say that ball jostled back and forth.
Tough break.
That's you're not going to get everything to go your way. You got to fight through it. You said it earlier. Make mistakes and forget about it.
Yep.
The block comes out of bounds.
They get a good answer. It's a long game. You just hate for those type of mistakes or those types of situations to happen this late in a set. But nonetheless, it happens. You know, it's one play shouldn't determine the match. The consistent play of positive making efforts will win the match. And the Bremen has got to get back to rhythm here, stay positive, and make good things happen. Need a good touch here.
Officially called that play an attack error by Rachel Kramer. But it doesn't matter right now because if you're New Bremen, you're down to 2 points from losing this third set.
You're down 2 points. You got to get a stop here. It's first one to 25, and as we said, short memory, move on, get a good first touch here, get an offense, see which of your hitters can make a play.
6 of 10 points coming out of a timeout at 17-17. And add another, this one a block for Zoe Meyer. Her team a point away from taking a 2-1 lead here in the Division IV state finals. We'll take a look again at some of our sponsors that help bring these games. Are thanks to them all season long. NKT.TV along with BowlerStore.com, where you can find the pocket without emptying yours. Wagner's IGA, also Grand Lake Health and Clopay Building Products, America's favorite garage door. Available at Clopay Building Products. Moran's Refrigeration, your appliance expert that serves Northwest Ohio for over 70 years. And PSG Automotive Outfitters, some of the fine folks that are able to help us do this all season long. Now you look at this, you said it in set 2. It was 24-20. No room for mistakes. Obviously, you don't want to go down 2-1. You have even less room for mistakes now.
Yeah, they're a little bit different. I mean, close, similar situation, 24-21. You got to play mistake-free for the Cardinals. The Senecas just need to keep the ball in play now and force the Bremen to make an error.
This Sophie Burtis with the serve. Burtis now with Jones digging it out, set up across, a hand full of people near it. Cardinals fight it off. Heminger stared down at the floor to make sure she got to it. Terrific point dug out again by the Cardinals, just inside, it hit the pin, and just that quickly, it is 2-1 in favor of Tiffin Calvert here in Dayton. We're back for set number 4 after this on NKTelco Sports.
Brand Refrigeration in St. Mary's is celebrating 70 years in business. We are committed to offering you top name brands like Whirlpool, Maytag, and KitchenAid, Samsung, Fisher & Paykel, and Speed Queen. Come in and experience the one-on-one personal service that you won't get from big box stores. Our delivery and installation specialist will assure you that your purchases arrive safely and are installed properly. Brand Refrigeration, exceeding your expectations.
PSG Automotive Outfitters, your truck accessory headquarters.
Start of set number 4. It is a 2-1 Calvert lead after they took the third set 25-21. The student sections have been here for hours. And this is just game 1 of the way that they have this tournament set up. It is the D3 game at 1 o'clock. It'll be Versailles in their bid to erase their 10-10 start to the season and their opportunity to pick up a state title. The MAC trying to add 2 more to the never-ending trophy case.
Well, I mentioned that pivotal game 3 won by Calvert. They only committed 2 errors, so they played extremely well and still only mustered out a 4-point win. So New Bremen actually led in kills. They had 12 compared to 11, had 3 service aces compared to none, and also had 2 blocks. And the Senecas did have 3 blocks, but New Bremen offensively had that stat column 1, but New Bremen committed 11 errors. Had 8 or 7 striking or attacking errors, 1 service error, and 3 ball handling errors. So the difference there, New Bremen offensively getting it done, but also with that risk came some, with that reward came some risk, and they committed a number of errors, and kind of that seems to be the difference in that narrow 4-point loss they suffered.
You'd love a hot start here if you're New Bremen.
Well, one thing you remember, they've been down, they've been in a situation before that hit the antenna. They've had their backs against the wall before, against St. Henry in the district finals, against Monroeville in the state semis. So,
and last year here in this building.
Yes, so it's
a high swing. White with the point. That's impressive. Just because when that went in the air, I did not know if she's going to be able to get all the way up there.
Yeah, Zoe Meyer, 12
Meyer, sorry.
But yeah,
White set it up.
There you go. But Meyer, a quiet game number 3 with no kills. And again, she's a strong attacker, but
third straight set. Those girls come and go so quickly, it makes it hard to see the numbers sometimes. But third straight set now with a 1-1 tie. And coming out of it, Calvert for the second straight set with a 2-1 lead. Doing the services is the most successful, I would say, server so far in Burtis. They've gotten a lot of her points here as they kill the other side. Rachel Kramer puts it in motion. And Bremen able to come back down after the kill by Taylor Paul. And I love how confidently every time Macy Putoff goes back to serve that she just holds that ball and just says, "Can I go now? Are you guys ready?" Right back to her.
Kind of stares them down a little bit and really just regaining focus, and
let's call it a mistimed ball.
Yeah,
they're
just a little bit out of rhythm, and nonetheless commits an error. The Cardinals do, so need to get a ball back to the Cardinals and keep the ball, get some consecutive serves and get some offense started.
3-3 after the first 6 points. Look at the losses this year for Tiffin Calvert at 24-3. A very good Holy Name squad out of Parma. Willard beat them in a tournament. They beat them 2 sets to none.
Yeah.
And then New Regal beat them in 5 sets. But very good teams that were all alive in the district level. Down to Bremen tied at 3. They want to get that lead, and right now they have got it. Off the dive, Sophie Burtis couldn't get to it.
You mentioned the 4 losses for New Bremen coming at the hands of MAC opponents. 3 of those were league games in St. Henry, Fort Recovery, and Coldwater. New Knoxville, New Bremen lost to in the Van Wert Invitational. The tournament, New Knoxville went on not only to beat New Bremen, but our next game, the Versailles Tigers, New Knoxville wins the Van Wert Invitational against beat 2 teams that do that that are playing today.
Service error against the Cardinals now gives a 4-4 tie. 4th tie, 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's one way to do it. Everybody.
Hey, do you keep track of how long the set 3 lasted?
No.
And then we talked about that. Some of these matches, the wear and tear. I mean, there's really no break for these girls at all. There's no halftime. There's no. I mean, you get a 3-minute break, but you're on the clock basically from 11 until whenever this match is over, and we're pushing 12:20 now. So
I'd say it was about 25 minutes. Thinking about when we went to break.
We started at 11:46. We know that, but yeah, these things can drag on as far as intensity and length, and basically you got to get it done out here.
Back-to-back service errors on to Bremen.
Yeah, 2 of them here to start game 4.
Tied at 5. Why not? We've been tied every point, and nobody has gotten the advantage. Good swing and a defensive set for Rachel Kramer. Set back high, and the double hit gives New Bremen they lead at 6-5.
Third error committed by Calvert. Remember, they had 2 in set number 4, so they've increased their error performance. A very good margin last game for the Senecas, just with those 2 mistakes that they committed.
Free balled up at the net. Kind of everybody's got a chance at it, and the slam dunk for Claire Pape. Back-to-back points for New Bremen. The first back-to-back points in this set by either team.
What we talk about, consecutive serves, and this is where momentum begins to get on your side.
I said this in the Jackson Center game for New Bremen too. Claire Pape, it doesn't matter if she's up at the front or back, but between she and Rachel Kramer now, you watch this point when she goes to serve. She is nearly beating the air out of this volleyball with her team up 8-5.
Just like a free throw, every girl has the rhythm. When you step to the free throw line, you do the same thing more times than not, and you go attack. And they like to serve aggressive and force the other team to make a good play.
Awkward hit that the fans behind us were not all that thrilled about. And blocked across. Terrific save on that swing for Madison Pape. Back of the net. Oh, here you go. 3 players nearly touched the ball at the same time. Bremen able to stay with it. They don't panic. Dinked across, and they're able to reset herself as Ashlyn Jones. And the point is the opposite way.
I kicked it with my foot. There's where the stat you're talking about. Front row getting hit by a volleyball.
There's got to be a number of that somewhere.
What's the over-under?
Probably a lot. If Mike Kern's sitting courtside, it's a lot.
The ball
ripped across.
Good swing by Claire Paper. Second kill of set number 4. Their 7th on the afternoon or in this match.
Keep in mind, though, Bremen led at set 3, 9-6. They led set 2, 9-6.
Set 3, they led 7 to 1.
Right, but it's the same point as right now. As it was Calvert who was able to make a late run after a timeout and a 17-all tie to take that set 25-21. They lead 2-1 here in the best of 5.
Good swing by Pape, good play by Seneca.
And they point to make it 10-6 for New Bremen.
Violation. Back-to-back serves again. Anytime you get 2 or 3 and give up just 1, that's the key. I mean, limiting the other team to just 1 serve, and Bremen now back-to-back.
Eikamp, the sophomore, zips one across that nearly put Heminger on the floor the wrong way. Out of the back row, pushed up for Kramer. Up at the net, just out.
It's close enough to make him think. That's a tough call when it's coming right at the line judge. There's no room to really judge it. Bang, bang, and probably the right call.
2,700 people in the town of New Bremen don't think that point should have gone the way it did. And by that, I mean the 2,700 people sitting behind me. The point reverses itself.
Boy, those are the type of mistakes when you get a momentum play like that, attack that went long, the Bremen's crowds are upset. You maybe got to break. I mean, I thought it was the right call, it was out. But then you come right back and you just serve it long. It's like it's that risk reward again, and it drives me nuts, but that's why I'm not on the other side and I'm sitting over here. It's also why I'm not playing, just watching.
Less hate.
Yep.
Abby Tiemann has broken into it. You talk about working hard and how you don't get a chance to sit in a complete broken sweat after the serve. Now sent back to her, fought off at the net, down to the floor, and right on cue, she proves me right by getting the ball. It only works out every once in a while.
Another long volley.
With it in play, back corner, and again, no point for New Bremen. It'll go up on Calvert's side, and the Bluebirds are loose here inside the Nutter Center.
Again, when you want every play to go your way, and when it doesn't, obviously it's frustrating. And Bremen, again, you got a 3-point lead, get the ball back here, go back to work on offense, and take care of business.
Inside, that time the double block nearly proved fatal for Calvert.
Good job by Calvert keeping a fist so they don't get called for illegal contact. The Bremen wins the point.
And in the process, too, by the way, I don't know if you can see in the background, but Rachel Kramer and Blake Snyder tripped over one another. Now 12-8 New Bremen. As they take the side out, leading by 4, trying to get even here in set 4. It's a high return. Dug out by Ashton Heitkamp. Heitkamp now will put it across off the fingertips of Meyer on the opposite side. The ball had a heck of a lot of spin for it. Tima was able to go back and get it. Heitkamp now into the back corner and set after the dig for Burtis. And Bremen never saw the second time.
Kramer's looking around. If she touched, she didn't know where it was at.
Heitkamp zips one into the back row, says, I'll take care of you.
Good volley. Won by the Cardinals on the handling error. But yeah, New Bremen, again, aggressive, making some good plays, and walk away in a big 5-point lead now. Here's where we'd like to keep that serve in bounds, at least this one. Get separation now. Don't play back and forth.
That's how you know these balls are hit hard, because not only with this ace now at 14-8 off the tip, but that ball was hit so hard that Rachel Kramer had no idea where it went. 14-8 New Bremen here in set 4. Back in just a moment on NKTelco Sports.
At CAPT, we use hometown opportunity to make sure that when we have a position open within the facility, it gets put on the website.
We've really been excited to see how that has grown so much over the last several years.
If anyone is looking for a job, it's the best place to go.
We really want to do whatever we can to get folks that are from this community back to this area.
I would recommend any manufacturing company that they take a look at it. It's a very good benefit for companies at no cost.
14-8, New Bremen leads in set 4. They trailed 2-1. They took the first set 25-12, dropped the second set 25-20, and lost set number 3 25-21, despite the fact that at one point it was tied at 17 all.
Well, New Bremen had a lead back in, I believe it was set 2, 17-13. And at that time, at set number 1, it opened with a 4-point lead, had momentum, and then Calvert came back and got him. Here's a little bit bigger lead, so you like to, again, come out of timeout and get the point. Don't let that timeout break your momentum.
And I don't believe it's going to here. That is a monster swing from Rachel Kramer.
Again, it's like the blockers are straight on. When she hits it so hard diagonally, it appears to me that it's just tough to come back with a straight block back at you and deflects down onto the opponent's side, and she hits it hard. That's another thing. It's tough to control.
Apex swing there, down to the floor, and I don't know how this point stays alive. Zoe Meyer does so many good things for the Seneca squad. Dinked across back in front of her into the net, and look who's on the floor again. Meyer tried to save that point for about the 4th time.
She's been all over her. She was trying to dig out Ashton Heitkamp's off-speed offering and made a contact, but couldn't keep it alive. Heitkamp now with 3 kills on the afternoon.
The Cardinal student section in their maroon and gold, they are fired up right now.
Crimson and gold.
Crimson and gold, sorry. I'm used to looking at the jersey, which is definitely maroon.
I looked online to make sure I had it right. I thought they said crimson. So, then the point.
Taylor Paul and Rachel Kramer team up again. It's 17-8. Great, now I'm not going to be allowed in New Bremen. Of course, if they come back and win, I might be. Long runner for Macy put off. Nearly. Wasn't going to be returned. Snyder, I can hear her yelling as loud as this place is, that's mine.
Good cut, good play, but good attack by Heitkamp, good play.
Saved by Emma White, pushed right back to Heitkamp again. So here, try it again. 3rd time, is that the charm? Maybe that should have been in the net.
Or I thought
under the net.
Cross.
Thought it looked like that Sophie Burtis was halfway back to New Bremen. 17-9. Now after the streak is broken.
And quickly, that's right there. Those are bang-bang points. You give up a point, but then they are able to come up with a serve right in the middle of nowhere. Snyder can't come up with it, and still a 7-point lead. But those are the types that really swing the momentum around. See if New Bremen can get a solid attack, get the ball back to the serve.
Down to the floor to dig it out. It's Lexi Watt on the opposite side, and Coach Kramer is not thrilled. You said sometimes the officials have to make spot decisions. He made one there. Point for Calvert into the timeout. It's 17-11 New Bremen here on NKTelco Sports.
At Minster Bank, we understand that life can get hectic. That's why when it comes to your banking, we offer the services that make your life simpler with tools like person-to-person payments, Pop Money, mobile and online banking, and bill pay. But most of all, Minster Bank is a supportive member of your community with personal relationships and customer service that reach outside of our branches. Minster Bank, helping people achieve financial success.
17-11 New Bremen to the tune of We Are Cardinals directly behind Jeff and I. It is very hard for me to describe how loud it is inside this building.
And it's been great. We're down here in the bottom of the valley, if you will, and we have fans on one side that have been loud and Bremen behind us, so it's a nice feeling. As difficult as it may sound, it's neat to have that atmosphere, and we're fortunate enough to be sitting right here calling it.
Heitkamp with a cross-court shot, nearly
Here's a free
hit the
ball.
floor in front of Burtis.
Here you go. Oh my gosh.
You can draw a direct line between Blake Snyder, Abby Tiemann, and Ashton Heitkamp. All three of them ran into each other. It's 4 straight points now for Calvert after the side out. They are down by just 5.
I was watching the free ball thinking, here's a chance, and tough break for the Cardinals. Violation Cardinals.
We'll go to that one on Rachel Kramer. The 17-13.
What was it, 17?
13 now.
Before.
It was 17-8 New Bremen. The ball put into the back row for Snyder to dig out. Back over to the double block and up off the hands and the head of Meyer and Emma White.
Now it's time to go. Paul with the kill. She'll trot back, and when she made her attack, I'm pretty sure she lets go. We need to get some points here, and she's gonna have a chance to keep it in play for the Cardinals first.
Seneca's out of Seneca County, waiting for a chance to get into this one. Meyer cross court for the point. And again, of course, Rolls, you can always spot the writers. Their first instinct is always to protect their equipment.
Their pen?
Well, he was trying to protect, Bryant was trying to protect his laptop. Smart play on his part.
4-point lead.
18-14 now. After that 1 point broken by Bremen. And a ball zipped right in front. You can see Blake Snyder, she kind of lost her footing, tried to, right before that ball came down, tell Abby Tiemann, could you come get this?
Well, Ashlyn Jones hit it pretty well. And boy, this is a super run for the Senecas. They put together a nice string of offense here.
Eminger with the service. Now libero. Return right back off of her and nearly into the front row.
She attacked that. It was deflected, but you watch the whole New Bremen team. No one celebrated because these girls, the defensive unit on this case, can cover so much ground. It's a big open place here at the Nutter Center. You want to make sure it hits the ground before you start celebrating, and they did just that. Kramer, her 3rd kill.
That, and they've only picked up 2 of the now 8 last points.
True.
Another ball that is tipped, and I think if you look back and you think about the way that set 3 went, that they ultimately ended up dropping, that is probably another reason why. I would love to hear the timeout we talked about earlier on to Bremen. So nobody gave us anything. Nobody says we're going to be here. People say we're not very good. Let's just continue to play our brand of volleyball and prove them wrong. Down 2-1, leading. Now 20-16. Do not get in front of these balls.
Well, Kramer's been huge. 3 kills in game 1, 3 and 2, 4 and 3, and now 4 here in game number 4. 14 kills on the afternoon.
Kramer's serve right down the middle and nearly a miscommunication in front of A.J. Heminger. Into the net goes Calvert. Now 21-16. New Bremen trying to get even. I said earlier on, we might be here for 5. Or at least go to a timeout.
5 is fine.
So we'll take a look at a couple more of the sponsors that help us bring these games to your TV sets, and also they are on demand, by the way, on the NKTelco Sports Facebook page and online at nktelco.net. Hometown Opportunity, they connect local companies with local talent, along with the Minster Bank, providing financial solutions for a lifetime. Schwieterman Pharmacy, located in Salina, Coldwater, Minster, New Bremen, St. Mary's, and Wapakoneta, along with New Knoxville Supply, Minster Dental Care, Cargill, along with Francis Furniture, Wilson Health, where they provide caring without limits, and Precision Strip. Also, big thanks to Keyhole Pizza for providing our keys to the game, and Winners Meats for providing quality meats for 90 years on our replays. And our scoreboard today brought to you by the First National Bank. They remind you to think first. And again, it is so loud in this building. It is an awesome environment that not only New Bremen will play in, but I see a lot of folks from Versailles getting ready for their game, which is tentatively scheduled for 25 minutes from now. Hence the use of the word tentatively. Calvert with the return out of the timeout, down by 5, 21-16. Bremen, I don't even know how that ball got across. Let alone the fact that it came down for a Bremen point. It almost seemed like it just teleported across.
Well, Reinhardt gets the kill, and a good job of scoring well out of the timeout. They do come to the third service error of the set. 5-point lead with 3 to go for New Bremen to earn game 5.
Rachel Kramer immediately pointed to herself, said, "Yep, that's my bad."
And it was.
Can't blame it on anybody else. Ashlyn Jones, the server for the Senecas now. Good inside, great left hand. Kind of that off-balance look as the double hits will cost the side out. And
Calvert with 2 errors in game 4. They've had 8 now in game 4. They had 9 in game 1 where they kind of got whitewashed 25-12, and that's, you know, the errors have hurt the Senecas, and they have given up
a huge moment for a sophomore right now for New Bremen. Now on the return, down to the returner in Kramer, the senior. Back across, and that big shot from Taylor Paul. Calvert responds. They didn't panic at all. Now they're able to keep that point alive. There were 2 different times that should have come to an end. But as Claire Pape tried to send it back, it hit awkwardly in the substitutes for New Bremen. Around we go, Josie Reinhardt and ultimately Blake Snyder. Everybody gets a high five. 23-18, the stands, I believe, are about to be separated from behind us with the thundering. Speaking of, a argument about whether that ball was touched. I think if Claire Pape had hit somebody with that, you would know.
Yeah, I didn't think it was touched. Again, you got to forget about it, go on. You need to get the point here, and it's back-to-back points now. Service ace for Calvert.
And a timeout for New Bremen. They lead at 23-20 here in set 4 on NKTelco Sports.
Schwieterman Pharmacies began serving the people of Auglaize County in 1916 when Urban Schwieterman purchased the building and business from J.H. Hoffman. The New Bremen location is one of the longest-running pharmacies in the country, with over 110 years of serving its patrons. Since then, 4 more stores have been added: Coldwater, St. Mary's, Minster, and Wapakoneta to round out the group. Our services include prescription refills, home medical equipment, nursing home services, customized compounded medication, vaccinations, and so much more.
3-point lead for New Bremen here in set number 4. They trailed 2-1 out of the timeout, and a kill by Lexi White for Calvert.
Big point. I mean, they're all big now, but boy, here's a chance. New Bremen gets a point to go to set point. If not, momentum stays with the Senecas.
Sydney Johnson, the senior, the server for the Senecas. Return right back near where she's at, off of Emma White.
Chance for New Bremen here, a free ball. Last time that free ball was disaster.
Back on the return, swinging error on the hit for Claire Pape. That's twice where she has come up, has been fired up, and has just sent one directly into the net. control the hype, I think, is also a point at times as Johnson, dejected with herself, substitutes out for Lila Gehring. 24-21 New Bremen. If this point is for the Cardinals, you're not going to hear anything I say. And again, big spot. This one goes for a senior in Abby Tiemann.
Well, they get a service error break, so can they take advantage of it? Nearly caught the top of the tape.
Nearly disaster on one side.
Tiemann's had a busy day in the back row as well as setting. She's had a number of digs for the Cardinals.
At the net, a palm shot. No other way to describe how that came out. Back corner and no. Calvert with the point. I can think of 3 times in the last 6 points now that has gone that way, where they've just missed, the Cardinals have, being able to drop one in. Still with the set on the line on this point. A loft shot from Sophie Burtis, the 5'5" senior. Up at the net. Burtis and White collide on one. Blocked at the net, kept in play by Meyer. Terrific day for her so far.
Free ball.
Popped up by Lexi White at the net. Dinked across, down.
Alive, pancake, kept it alive.
Kept it alive. What should have been the end of this point. Fought off now for Bremen. They have to go on the defensive.
Heitkamp with the winner.
And we are going to 5 for the D4 state title. New Bremen 25, Calvert 22. Set 5 coming up when we come back here on NKTelco Sports.
New Knoxville Supply Company, the supply source for residential, commercial, and industrial jobs. We specialize in plumbing products from many name brands, electrical products from replacing a light switch to rewiring an entire house, heating, air conditioning, and geothermal products, sheet metal ductwork, installations, and service. We are now housing more inventory, so all the hardware items you need to complete the job are available right away. New Knoxville Supply. Stop in, call, or check us out online at newknoxvillesupply.com.
At First National Bank, we are working hard to make your life a little easier. With products like Card Valet, an app allowing you to control your cards with real-time notifications, transaction restrictions, and spending limits. The ability to access your money through 55,000 all-point ATMs across the country, surcharge-free. Live customer support when you need it, and online and mobile banking, allowing you to gain access to your financial information wherever and whenever you like. First National Bank, making your life a little easier.
You can hear the crowd and hear the excitement here in the Nutter Center. New Bremen 2, Calvert 2. Set number 5, the first to 15, or the first to 15 plus win by 2, which the way that this one's going, we might be in for a longer afternoon.
It's been a good match so far. It's started at 11 and scored at 1, so we're going on 2. It'll be 2 hours, and a lot of volleyball. The volleys we've had, sometimes you don't get a lot. It's bump, it's serve, receive, serve, bump, set, spike, and that's it. We've seen defensive plays on both sides of the ball, and both teams continue to attack. It's not like they're free balling it over. These are some swings, and to be able to make the play defensively and get your ball back in the system, and it's been very entertaining today, very energetic.
Big swings again. Meyer and Calvert with the first point. So they take a 1-0 lead. That is the first time that Calvert has led after the first point.
For Meyer, her 7th kill in the match. Did not have a kill in game number 3, but 7 now with that one to give her team the 1-0 lead.
Sophie Burtis on the serve after the side out for Calvert. High ball and across the pin. Heminger did a nice job to get to the floor to save it. And it just would not stay in. That ball floated. And that is about the 12th tie that we've had today. 6 of them came in set 3.
12 kills for Taylor Paul.
Macy put off the junior. First team All-Ohio doing the serving now for New Bremen. And a lot of cross-court shots from Seneca as they try to space out the defense. But through the block and the return off the tape, Bremen with a 2-1 lead. And again, anybody left in New Bremen right now is probably listening and watching everything that they can get their hands on.
Yeah, the Cardinals, good start here, Paul. Back-to-back kills, 13 now in the match.
Burtis with a setback across. Meyer just missed it on the, wanted to take it on the apex of her swing, didn't work that way. Jones out of the back row. Burtis said no, no, no. Down to the floor, and a terrific dive by Snyder for New Bremen. Blocked by Meyer again. Down to the floor, tied now at 2-2.
Meyer, again, averages just over a block per set. 6 now in this match for the state finals for Zoe Meyer.
Rachel Kramer with the return. Bounced right up. 50-50 ball at the net. And the double hit on the Senecas.
I think net violation is what was called.
Oh, sorry, she called the net violation on Emma White. The
Yes.
2 fingers in the air I took as the double hit.
Well, maybe it wasn't. I thought the one of the down.
I think you're right. I just think the 2 in the air was.
Service ace for New Bremen.
Now rolling is that ace for Taylor Paul. 4-2. Well, just that quickly, no lead is safe in this set on either side. Get a building that has seen a lot of terrific volleyball over the years is getting a good one here. Another big kill by Meyer.
2 kills for Zoe Meyer here in game 5. And again, a big point there for Calvert is, again, game to 15 much shorter. Everything's
by about
magnified.
10 points.
Yeah, by about 10 is correct, but everything's more magnified.
Less mistakes are available to
That's
you.
been the key to the whole afternoon.
Right, Meyer over to Heminger.
Who can make the least mistakes.
Burtis now, oh, and a terrific point. That is a highlight level play right there for Rachel Kramer. Directly into that swing.
15 kills on the afternoon for Rachel Kramer, and again, a lot of confidence in that swing. She jumps well, swings hard, and has been very aggressive, very active in the front row for the Cardinals.
I guarantee you there's a photographer with a terrific picture of that. That is the one you put on the front cover, but right now, Calvert said we don't care about any of that. They get one of the 2 points back, and they trail now just at 5-4.
Ashlyn Jones comes up with another nice hit. I mean, she followed up Kramer's with a very strong attack as well.
By the way, they have terrific food here.
I can smell that next to you.
Down to the floor goes the point for Calvert.
I think it's back-to-back attacks by Ashlyn Jones that have gone down for kills, and just like that, we're tied up. New Bremen, a lot of energy, momentum, and now the Senecas have been able to respond back.
Tipped and sent right back. It was a terrific idea by Rachel Kramer. Just didn't really fall how she thought it was going to in front of Gehring.
Gehring able to get a touch on it, gets a solo block. And now after all that said, Calvert a 1-point lead and make it 2.
And they have a crowd of their own that is fired up. Just their 3rd lead of this set. So Bremen, who led 5-3, now behind 7-5. Up off of Heminger, out to White. From the left side, the swing for Ashlyn Jones. Right back to her. White will set it back in the net. A high set. And a blocked right back into the hands where it came from, Katie Rombach. Snyder with a set. Another high return. There, you talked about it. Swings being blocked at the net. Right back off of Jones' shoulder. Another terrific point as everybody tried to stay out of the net. Heminger now in the front row.
Never made it.
And the return for Ashlyn Jones does not get across. New Bremen back to within 1.
Long volley again, and some not maybe real aggressive attacking, but some attacking and some plays players had to make to keep the ball alive, and New Bremen fortunate to come away with that point.
Rachel Kramer with a high swing set across, and wow, you can't teach Ashlyn Jones. The perfect runner from the right side, flipped it back down the tape for the point.
Had to avoid the pin. She did just that, and as you said, caught the tape. The sophomore, 3 kills here in game 5. As that serve maybe would have been out, but it's played up by the Cardinals.
Reballed back across, ultimately by Putoff. Inside, just in front of down to the floor was Rachel Kramer. And a ball into the pin. Now 9-6 Calvert. And you wonder, here to Bremen, you let your girls play for Coach Kramer, or you call the timeout pretty soon?
Well, they got 2 left, and yeah, that's a decision it's not up to us to make, and hopefully the players can make their own adjustments here and get a stop.
Ball back for Lexi White and ultimately Emma White for Calvert at the net, off the hands, and a point for the Bremen. They needed that one badly to stop the bleeding.
Well, that answers your question about the timeout. Keep the serve in play here, and let your defense try to get a touch, and let your offense get in the system and try to get back to within the 1 point. They trail by 2.
Want to know how good this New Bremen program is going to be for the next couple of years? Look who's serving right now. You trust your system, and you've got a sophomore back there doing your serving in the state finals. Now returned back, and there's another reason why. That same young lady in Diana Heitkamp down to the floor to save what would have been the 10th point for Calvert. Third time around, third time's the charm. High ball set right in the middle of the net.
They got a break. The agreement was almost disaster. Boy, this is awkward.
So many things go right and wrong depending on who you're rooting for on that point. Calvert into the timeout at 10-7 here in set 5 in the race to 15 on NKTelco Sports.
Minster Dental Care continues to offer advanced dental technology in a state-of-the-art facility. Our professional team offers experience in general dentistry and orthodontics, including services such as CERA and wireline orthodontics. Board-certified pediatric dentist Dr. Philip Slankowski ensures our littlest patients have a positive, safe, and a comfortable experience. We are unconditionally committed to excellence in everything we do.
25-3 Tiffin Calvert, 24-4 New Bremen. Those records out the window now. The only number that matters for New Bremen is 8. The only number that matters for Calvert is 5. 10-7 if your math is not correct or you don't have an abacus. Here in set 5 out of the timeout. So New Bremen trying to break the stretch. They've given up 5 of the last 6 points. Calvert with the serve from the senior and Sydney Johnson. Had a service error the last time that she came up in the rotation. Off of White's fingers. Tall 6-footer sends it across, and now it's Lexi White with point 11 for the Senecas. Bremen has come back from deficits before. They trailed in the state semis last year. They trailed in the state semis this year at 2-0. But down 4 points to keeping your opponent from getting to 4 is a tall task.
Boy, Calvert doing a nice job keeping the ball alive at the net.
12-7.
Timeout.
We'll stay here as we look at the scoreboard. 12-7 in favor of Calvert. A couple of sponsors again to thank in Schwieterman Pharmacy. The pharmacy is located in Salida, Coldwater, Minster, New Bremen, St. Mary's, and Wapakoneta, along with New Knoxville Supply, Minster Dental Care, Cargill, Francis Furniture, Wilson Health, where they provide caring without limits, and Precision Strip. Big sponsors for what we do here for high school and college sports on NKTelco. And right now, if you're the Cardinals, I guess Taylor Swift is the biggest inspiration you could think. Just shake it off.
Well, it's what Madison Pape and Taylor Paul were doing. Madison grabbed her and just shook her, a little bit. Smiles on their faces, staying positive, and it's next play. Forget about the past. This game's not over. Make the next play, get the ball back, and go to work.
Sydney Johnson, the overhand right, to put it in play. Bremen trails by 5 here in the race to 15. White
kept alive again.
Somehow on the run, Ashlyn Jones. Set back across for Bremen, blocked again. Snyder helps to try to dig it out. And a free ball at the net, blocked by Zoe Meyer.
Number 12, doing some work in game 5. 3 kills, a couple blocks for Meyer.
Long runner for Johnson. She put the Old English behind it like a pitcher would when they're trying to throw their fastball. Return back, and speaking of fastballs.
Yeah, there was one.
Off nearly the head of White and Meyer. Back inside at 13-7 Calvert. Bremen needs a break here. They're not going to get it. White back in play after Jones saved it again. Bremen reactionary right now. They're not in front of these balls. Meyer down to the floor, and you can see the look of sheer joy.
Did Pape touch it, cleared it, knocked it down.
Even for a split second to cut the lead to 13-8.
Again, a long volley. New Bremen's, that was a long series of efforts there, and Claire Pape able to, I think, touch it down there, but a much needed break. Still a lot of work to do, but at least get the ball back and get your team a chance to go to work.
Back set just inside the pin, and White nearly took out Raumbach with a swing that almost hit her in the face. High set back across, blocked and out of bounds. Back to back. Build the lead and continue to push the Boulder up the hill. New Bremen has not led it since 5-4, and a timeout here in set 5. 13-9 Calvert on NKTelco Sports.
Trust us. NKTelco, a small-town company with a big focus on customer service. We build business the old-fashioned way.
Trust us to be your internet provider.
Trust us to help you find the right cable package for your viewing needs.
Trust us to answer your questions any time of the day.
Trust NKTelco to be on call. Deliver and make sure your service is tailored to meet your needs.
We serve commercial and residential customers to meet their communication needs. Trust us at NKTelco. Trust us!
13-9 Calvert. It was just 13-7. New Bremen forces 2 straight points and a Calvert timeout. We're slowly running out of timeouts. New Bremen does not have any more. Calvert's got the 1. Ball in play now as Bremen tries to cut into this lead and somehow get the first to 15 to claim the big gold trophy in the hallway. I saw it earlier. It's pretty shiny. White blocked. Raumbach. Point 3.
Paul and put off.
Double block again.
3 unanswered.
The ball returned into the back row.
Chance for the Cards here.
Block though at the net, and a point away are the Senecas from being state champions.
Zoe Meyer, huge in this 5th game. She's been an obstruction all match, but 3 kills, 3 blocks for Zoe Meyer. Match point serving for Calvert.
If it was loud in here before, it's even worse now. Calvert with the serve, dug out by the Cardinals. They won't rush. Set all the way back across, dinked off of Meyer's hands, and that'll do it. Tiffin Calvert in 5 sets, 15-10. The 2018 Division IV state champions. Heck of a season for New Bremen, but they finish as runners-up at 24-5. And you can see from our perspective, Coach Raumbach is the very last through her team. The New Bremen girls crying different tears on the other side of sadness, but it's Coach Raumbach shaking hands at the net right now with tears of joy.
Yep, you'll have that, and tough break for the Cardinals. Good run, good match. Give the Senecas of Calvert a tip of the hat. They played very well.
Heck of a year for both teams. We're back here inside the Nutter Center after this on NKTelco Sports.
For over 150 years, Cargill has been helping people be successful worldwide. Cargill has always done business responsibly and in a way that makes us proud. Whether it is educating farmers in India or providing bikes to students with perfect attendance right here at home, Cargill is helping people thrive. The Sydney plant is just one piece of a global company that provides employment for hundreds of thousands, food for the world, and support for thousands of businesses. Be a part of something great at Cargill.com.
It's set number 5, and they take the state championship in Division 4, 3-2, as we hit the announcements and the handing out of the trophies here. I hate to see, this is one of my favorite and least favorite times of the year because you work so hard. It comes down to one game. Not everybody can win. New Bremen knows what it's like to be on the other side of this floor right now, but it doesn't diminish what they did at 24-5 this year.
Yep, exactly. Well stated. And, you know, it's a game. Someone's going to win, someone's going to lose, and obviously the object is to come out on top, and the Bremen fell just short, so, you know, it's tough, and it should be. That's why you play the game.
They announce the young ladies for New Bremen as they will come up and get their medals and ultimately the Division IV state runner-up trophy. Katie Howell and Ellie Retgerman, along with Claire Pape, Madison Pape, and Chloe Bornhorst, Madison Cordonier, Macy Putoff, Rachel Kramer, Taylor Paul, Josie Reinhardt, Ashton Heitkamp, Diana Heitkamp, along with Abby Tiemann and Blake Snyder for third-year head coach Diana Kramer. Here's a thing for you, though, that jumps out at me, Jeff. You look at Coach Kramer, this was not exactly, I don't know how to say it. Someone said it to me of a destination program for New Bremen not that long ago. She has turned them into now a perennial state title caliber team at 73-10. One state title, one state runner-up in just 3 years.
And the year before that, a regional finals. They lost to Jackson Center, who then won state. So, yeah, getting it done, and good group of kids.
Just a terrific outpouring of support. Shout out to the entire town of New Bremen as they are here en masse, and I am sure quite a few folks from Versailles and across the MAC as well. It doesn't always end how you want, but the story is a heck of a run to get there. The senior class that will lose quite a few at the top, but if you look at the returning class for New Bremen, new team, same dream next year is the motto this year. I believe they're going to be very good a year from now.
Runner-up trophy to the Cardinals of New Bremen.
Pretty well said.
Hey, I don't think I could say anything that would even remotely be better than that. But
I'll second that emotion.
A lot of tears on their faces, but when they look back, especially the senior class of the program, again, to go back to what I was talking about, that they are building here or back home in New Bremen. You get Blake Snyder, Abby Tiemann, also Rachel Kramer, and Madison Pape, an indelible mark on this program and on the Midwest Athletic Conference. So they award the state championship medals to the Division IV state champion Tiffin Calvert Senecas, 26-3 this year in the first year for Coach Lori Rombach.
Pretty good way to start your coaching career. They won't always be this much fun probably, but a good way to start for her. And
well, especially when you consider the fact that she did it at her alma mater. Played at Calvert, talked about that earlier on, and to have her daughter on this team, that during their tournament run, they won at 21 of the 24 sets that they played. Beat Gibsonburg, Old Fort, Mohawk, Ayersville, Lipsick, and Portsmouth Clay before winning the finals here tonight. They've got a tremendous group of players and a very senior-dominated team. Sophie Burtis and Shelby Heminger, I read an interview where they talked about how they love to play for Coach Rombach because she will let them make their own mistakes and let them figure it out. They did exactly that, and I don't know that anybody played any bigger in this game or in this match than Zoe Meyer, the 5'10 junior. People in the Sandusky Bay Conference aren't going to want to hear this. She's going to be back next year.
And she is good, and she has demonstrated that very well today. Again, a good squad from Calvert. Today they played very sound and very well deserving of the state championship.
They will address what is a sea of blue across the way from us and hand the trophy to the state champions. But just a tremendous year on both sides, and I can tell you this has been an absolute pleasure to do this game. This is what you would expect from two high-quality teams.
It was. It's competitive, energetic, the crowd, the atmosphere. I don't know how else you could even draw it up. Even the speech at the end was textbook.
And there you see the Division IV state champions and the Tiffin Calvert Senecas 15-10 in set 5, a battle that they will not soon forget with New Bremen. We'll take a break and we'll tell you about the final couple of things when we come back here on NKTelco Sports.
The big game is right around the corner. Are you ready for it? Come into Francis Furniture and find the right fit for you and your friends in our Lazy Boy Comfort Studio. With Lazy Boy Premier sofa and sectionals, You can custom order a look that's just your style. Choose from hundreds of decorator fabrics or choose genuine leather for its luxurious feel and durability. Come into Francis Furniture today, the area's only Lazy Boy Comfort Studio.
At Wilson Health, we're extending care beyond the walls of the hospital with resources designed to keep you in charge of your health.
Our independence and connection to the community are unique in a world where big healthcare strives to act like corporations.
Our tools may be the same, but we are different.
We're neighbors, friends, and family who truly care about the people who live here.
We call it caring without limits, and it's just the beginning of a whole new Wilson Health.
Together, we are family, working safely for our loved ones.
We are problem solvers who challenge the status quo and drive improvement.
We care about our customer relationships.
We stay true to our values, caring and respecting one another.
We embrace change as we journey through our career.
We are Precision Strip, the world's leading processor of rolled steel and aluminum.
Precision Strip, doing the exceptional.
Back inside the Nutter Center here at Wright State University, a final time to wrap things up. The Division IV state championship game in 5 sets goes to the Tiffin Calvert Senecas. They win the 5th set 15-10. And Jeff, we look a little bit deeper inside the numbers. What sticks out?
Well, then Bremen won the attack battle. They recorded 53 kills compared to 40 for the Senecas. New Bremen also had 10 service aces compared to 7 service aces. Blocking actually went in Seneca's favor. They recorded 12 termination blocks compared to 8 for the Cardinals. So overall, New Bremen attacked pretty good, served pretty good. The difference in the game probably came down to the errors. New Bremen had 50 errors, whether it be hitting, serving, and or ball handling, a total of 50. Seneca played cleaner. They only committed 36 errors between the hitting, serving, and ball handling. So a competitive, close game throughout, and you're splitting hairs trying to figure out the root causes, who made the more positive plays. And today, Seneca came out with enough of that to gain the 5-set match. For the Calvert Senecas, 3 players with 9 kills each. Lexi White, Allison Jones, and Zoe Meyer, all with 9 kills to pace their attack. New Bremen, 2 players in double figures. Taylor Paul with 15 kills. Rachel Kramer with 12. Macy Putoff with 8. 7 from Josie Reinhardt and Clara Pape. 4 from Ashton Heitkamp for their total of 53. So again, a strong attacking performance again by the Cardinals. We're just a Calvert team that really played cleaner today and took on and withstood all those attacks from the Cardinals.
Take a look at our player of the game for today. As always, brought to you by NKTelco.
Well, a number of players could have gotten. Again, we went with number 7, senior Rachel Kramer. She ends her season in a loss, a hard-fought loss. She finishes with 12 kills. She also had 3 aces serving, recorded 4 blocks, and also pretty active in the back row with 21 digs on the night. So good performance from Rachel Kramer and her teammates as well. But Rachel today, our player of the game.
Another terrific battle on tap here coming up as the MAC will go for another state title. It'll be Versailles and Independence here on this floor. Big thanks to all of our sponsors for today's matchup in the Minster Bank, also Schwederman Pharmacy, Keyhole Pizza and New Knoxville Supply, Minster Dental Care, along with Hometown Opportunity, Francis Furniture, Wilson Health, Precision Strip, Winners Meats, NKTelco and NKT.TV, BowlerStore.com, along with Wagner's IGA, Cargill, Grand Lake Health, Clopay Building Products, Moran's Refrigeration, and the First National Bank. And it has been a terrific day here in Dayton and a privilege to do this game.
It was. It's a shame, obviously, the Cardinals couldn't bring home the gold, but they gave us a great match, and that's what it's all about. They played hard, and that's all you can ask for. And just came up a little short, but a great atmosphere. Congratulations. Although it wasn't the trophy they wanted, they still represented their town community, their conference very well. Again, congratulations to that team, the New Bremen Cardinals.
We are done here from the Nutter Center. For our director in Scott Robinson and his assistant in Patrick Toller, our cameraman in Bryce Hamrick, Jeff Henshin and myself, Michael Hearn. Have a great night and even better tomorrow from all of us here at NKTelco Sports.